When the government decided that the investigation was over, a federal grand jury was impaneled to hand down indictments. This is usually a straightforward process. But the federal prosecutors were not counting on one grand juror, Hoppy Heidelberg, to actually ask questions of his own.
My name is Hoppy Heidelberg, and I served on the federal grand jury that was supposed to investigate the Mcveigh bombing in Oklahoma City back in 1995. Actually, the grand jury has two responsibilities that are outlined in this book. The first one says the grand jury operates as a sword, authorizing the government's prosecution of suspected criminals, and also as a shield, protecting citizens from unwarranted or inappropriate prosecutions. Now, that's not something that the media or the government ever points out, but that was actually the reason for a grand jury in the first place, to protect citizens from the crown, who at the time had a habit of prosecuting their political enemies or anybody they chose for any reason. The grand jury, our grand jury, that was supposed to be calling witnesses, were not allowed to call any. And it was my letter to the judge telling him that and demanding that we be allowed to call witnesses that got me excused from the grand jury. What you will hear and what they say that's a lie is that the grand jury foreman is the only one that has the right to do this or that. And that's not true. According to the book, any member can demand anything he wants for any reason. It can be just his personal opinion. It can be from information he gets. And of course, they tell us, well, you can't watch TV or you can't read the paper. That's nonsense. That's nonsense. Grand jurors need to be well informed if they're going to do their job properly. See, we were never allowed to see the photo evidence from the cameras on the Murrah building that would have shown the truck being parked and the people who got out of the truck. That's all on tape. And we were authorized to see all of that, but we weren't allowed to see it. And in fact, nobody's been allowed to see it. All those tapes have been kept under wraps for 15 years. It was just too important to the American people to know what happened there for me to keep quiet, because nobody else was going to speak up. The other grand jurors were petrified because they observed on a daily basis the kind of intimidation tactics that were used by the Department of Justice attorneys to attempt to keep me under control. And when they found out about the FBI visits to my home, I really shook them up. Now they're even scared to talk to me in the men's room.
Hoppy will never be silenced. In 1998, he ran as an independent candidate for governor of Oklahoma, intent on reopening the investigation into the bombing. After being excluded from the gubernatorial debate, Hoppy walked on stage to ask Governor Frank Keating why.
Both are on the record as saying that you think I should participate. Do you still believe that?
Thank you, audience. Mr. Jenkins, your follow-up now.